Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I have sworn and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. A light unto my path. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according unto thy word. The wicked have laid. Good morning, everybody. We will start at 11:03, just to give some more people time to come in. I can see our judges have already joined in. Hey, Joar, how's it going? We'll literally start at 11:03. It is snare for me, yet I heard not from thy precept. Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever. They are the rejoicing of my heart. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. A light unto my path. Light unto my path. Okay, I hope everybody's as excited as I am this morning. How we doing? Please just put in the chat how excited you are about the final day today, or just give me some emojis, whether it's a clap, a hand, something. I want to see how excited you are. I'm very excited. This is a good time. We have come to the end of ESG Tech 2.0. Who is excited? I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. I've been seeing, I'm a bit emotional as well. I won't cry here, but yes, it's been so much fun, so much learning, so good. Welcome everybody to this session. Welcome, welcome. I can see not everybody's here, so please try and invite your friends. Try and tell everyone to join the session today. We're going to not waste too much time. We're going to try and be as fast as possible, run through these. I'm hoping that we will be able to finish up at exactly 1 o'clock. I had a presentation. It's disappeared. Okay, there it is. Awesome, awesome. Please try to invite the others into the session. Try and invite the others into the session so that we can kickstart. But okay, it's a full screen. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, everybody, welcome again. And I want to just say congratulations to each and every one of you guys that have gone through the ESG in Tech 2.0. You are legends for doing this. And I can't wait, and I'm sure our judges can't wait as well, to see all your capstone projects. One of the things I also hope is that each and every one of you guys have become Tech for Good Africa community members. You've gone onto the website, you've signed on as ambassadors, and you are intentionally becoming one of our ambassadors so that we can do more Tech for Good across the continent of Africa. I'll use this opportunity to say thank you to all our judges that would be part of today's session. It means a lot to us that you would take up this out of your schedule today to be part of our session. Joa Gomes, I see you. Hey man, how are you?
Thank you.
Um,
Pleasure to be here with you.
Awesome, awesome. I think this is year two. We saw you last year. I'm so pleased to see you again. Thank you. Esther O2B, one of our judges. Thank you for being here. Olamide Fosalston, thank you for being here. Joa, thank you for being here. Shipov, I'm murdering this name. She might come and help me say this name. Shiquip Vela. Also, thank you so much for being here. Edith, Ugochukwu, thank you for being here. Each and every one of you guys, it means a lot to us. We don't take it for granted, and we say thank you for just being here to look at it. I'm sure we're going to have an exciting time just listening to some of the exciting innovations from the young ambassadors, young leaders at Tech for Good Africa. So, without wasting much time, I hope that our team, all of you guys, are ready. Our judges are here. And so I hope you guys are ready to present. Today, we won't waste much time. It's going to be a straight up flow. We've already done this welcome in. Every presentation will be 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, we'll have a 5 minutes feedback from two speakers. I know that we have speakers for each thematic speakers. We have judges for each thematic areas. And so we'll take the judge for that thematic area, and then we'll take one other judge to give the feedback for every 5 minutes. So if you're the judge for the thematic area that goes, you just speak, and then we'll have another judge join you after that. So we'll complete the 5 minutes. So each presentation is 10 minutes. We'll be timing you, so please make sure you stick to the 10 minutes. And after that, we'll come back. We'll take a short break where we'll tell you a little bit about Tech for Good Africa ambassadorship and how what it entails and why we do it and how you can be part of Tech for Good Africa ambassador. And then we'll come back and do the results, celebrate the winners, and then we close. That's it for today. I'm very excited for it. So straightforward, we're going to jump right into it at 11:08. But before we do that, let me just use 2 minutes to talk about who we are as Tech for Good Africa. We're a Pan-African platform for technology, leadership, and impact. We're using technology as a force for sustainability, inclusion, and good. Building an African future with verified data, civic duty. We want people to turn away from just volunteering to civic duty and leadership, especially through tech. We have a framework which we use at Tech for Good Africa, which is called E equals MD cube, meaning energy and education is equals to media, data, design, and digital. It's our framework to be able to track how technology is impacting various African countries. And we'd also use this to be able to encourage and orientate young people on how to get into tech as well. Wait, that's my okay. Our ethos, we believe technology is a civic duty, so everybody should be able to use technology to do good as much as it's an innovation. We believe that Africa's problem requires homegrown human-centered solution, and that's why we do this. Data, identity, and design are the new drivers of prosperity. We're at the forefront of that. And leadership, we believe, is about empowering community first. Our values is we love to empower ambassadors with knowledge and community. We're training leaders to drive transformation in various sectors, partnering with organizations to scale civic solutions. And in it is embedded our Echo platform and Echo ID to be able to verify data. And the reason we did that, and yesterday I was speaking this out loud to myself, is let's encourage everybody to help us create better reporting system, better reporting for our ESG, better reporting for our social impact. And that's why we do the Echo platform and the Echo ID. Okay, so that's a little bit about us. We are because there's no way to track how technology is impacting locations. We exist to make sure that that happens. So let's jump right into the Capstone project. I did well there. That was 2 minutes, and I did it in 2 minutes, 1 minute for each slide. So that means each of you can also do that too. So let's jump right into it. So we'll go to our first presentation this morning, and that will be the energy group. Energy, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's kick start. It's the energy group. Are they ready? Are you guys here? Ali, Osman, I see you as energy. You guys ready? Should I present for you or would you be presented? You're muted. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
in the run,
Are you going to
you can
present or
present
should
from you can present from the side.
I should present from here?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Just give me a minute. Let me stop sharing this and find the presentation for energy. Okay. Energy group. Right. Share. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen. Okay, we're ready. We're ready when you are. Please
my voice
go
is
ahead.
good.
Say that again.
My voice is good, right?
We can hear you.
Uh, Okay, hello everyone. It is my pleasure to join you here on behalf of Energy Native Group. We are an Energy Group. Our brand name is AfroVolts. After massive consultation and discussion with my group, we decided to take AfroVolts as our project. As we
I'm
are
sorry.
working on
Sorry, Ali. Your voice is really it's not really clear. I don't know if it's the headphones. It's not very clear.
you can hear me now?
I guess you could go ahead, but yeah, please just go ahead.
Okay. Now you can hear me?
This is better, way
Uh,
better.
okay. We are AfroVolt. We are representing my energy thematic group. We decided after consultation and discussion with my group to decide to take AfroVolt at our project that covering all the framework of Good for Africa to describe our project as we are working on reducing the emissions, and it is like mitigation policies and project to mitigate the emissions in Africa, and it is like a project that we can apply it in different part of Africa. Our project is working on three points: energy access and climate finance and digitalization. So we are offering clean energy for the traders in Africa, in Nigeria, Harare International Market. We are targeting this as our pilot project that we will apply in this area. We are helping them in having energy access, and we are helping the community to have a climate finance and data, and often the digitalization that we can use the data and use the technology in the just transition. Can you next? Yeah, what is the problem that there is a problem with energy that they are using a generator in that market and producing greenhouse gases into atmosphere. So we are not able to know what is the emissions that produced from this market, and because they are dealing uh, an in invisible way, so we are not understand what is the emissions, and we don't know that work because it's out of the bank and out of the data. So there is no data, and there is emissions, and there is impact that affecting the community and making noise pollution. Because of that, we are working to understand the case and to solve this problem. Next. Here is that we are our project is focusing on all the framework of the Good for Africa, from education that we will have the ambassadors that will help us to do intervention in this community, to let them to explain our project to them, and to let them to to help us to join them and to apply our new idea to them. And even the media that we will use, the local technology that they are using, like radio, television, and WhatsApp and Facebook. We will use this media to 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 join them. Even the data, we will do like a receipt, and we will do like a QR code that they will scan through our application to get data from them, and that data we will use it to solve the issue. Even the design, and we will have like a software application that we will connect it with the meter that to show us the energy that they are using, to show us that how much they are producing, and how much they are using and using electricity. And even we have that use ambassadors program board, even that will assist us to the integration. Even the digital, we will use that code, and dashboard that will have a dashboard for us and dashboard for the traders, to let us to see the progress. Next. And here is the partners, ambassadors, leaders that we will deal with them. The partners is the solar energy companies, and the banks, and the governments, and all the stockholders that will be with us. Even the ambassadors program, even that they will ask, we will teach them before doing the intervention, and we let them how to use our technology. After that, we will let them to work with the traders. And the leaders, even we will lead this program, and see, and we will take like from 5 months to 10 months. In this period, we will just collecting data. We will just knew how they are dealing, and we knew how the work there before bringing our new projects. Next. Here is available, and capacity, and the time. As we said, that we will take a pilot of 50 to 100 CMEs, that we will work with them as a first phase. And that target, we will collect the data from the first phase. After that, we will deal with all the stockholders to let them to change to using generator, to use the solar energy. And even we will use that data to add it to the NDCs and all the climate report, that we will show them our project is reducing the emissions by the short term and the long term. Next. Here is the risks that our project maybe will face, and the solution, that how we can deal with any risk, and with any challenges that we will face. Maybe we'll face fake receipts, that maybe even even with the data, and many challenges that, but we will deal with it, with the risks, and doing like governance, having like the streaming committee, like the we and the DFI, that for the finance and the market receipts. All this will help us to have a good governance, and have a good steps in working with that. Next. Here even the ESG of our project, how we will cover all the three. from the environment, social, and governance. Show us that exactly the three pillars of the ESG that will help us from reducing the CO2 and using the women and girls and the impact of the social and impact and the government even as we as Afro Vaults that we will collect data and we will use it in developing our policies and developing the NDC's national development contributions of Nigeria and we apply in another countries even. Next, here is the implementation. As I said, in 1 month and 1 year, we will work and we will evaluate, do a validation. After that, we will escalate our project. Next. Yeah, here is a financial example that show how we will how what is the profit that we will get and what is the reduction that we will do from emissions. Next, yeah, here is just we are working on that points clean energy and bankable data and empowering the startups and doing climate impact in mitigating and translation. And as even we are working with to translate from fossil fuel to clean energy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ali. That was interesting. I was just looking through your presentation and reading through. I thought this was interesting, converting receipts into solar power for SMEs. Okay, thanks so much. I don't know if we have our thematic leader for energy, Olamide Fosa Alston. Are you on the call so we can take feedback?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Please, if you can give feedback to the energy team, and then we'll take one of the other judges as well. Please, over to you.
Well done, Team Energy. And I love the concept of Afrovolt. The focus also on SMEs is unique and it is relevant, especially for the location that you've chosen. So in Nigeria, there's definitely about 30 million SMEs thereabout. So targeting that expanse, I believe you've done well regarding wanting to really make impact and move the needle. The second thing that's really working is the literacy that you're leading with. So energy literacy definitely is a cause of concern across Africa, really. So we have technology coming, and then you're wondering how would the adoption rate look like, seeing that the people need to learn first the technology and then they can run with it. The other thing that's working as well is the local adaptation that you've made. Because, as my mentor would always say, the solution you're providing can it solve your village people's problem. And being able to really do that, I believe I love that. So some of the places where it will be great would be a further breakdown of the solution, what that would look like if you infused more data. So in Abia market or in Abia state, in Aba market, etc., and how that is replicable. So in Nigeria, there is about 3-4 of the biggest markets. that then go on to spiral into other cities as well and even other countries based on the trade that happens there. So, given the numbers as to the needs, what they have currently, the gap that will be covered, that will be great to see. Um, it would also be great to see intangibility. So, the communication from here is solar receipt, and I'm going to be posing this as a question that in reality, how does that energy conversion happen?
Ali, you want to answer or any part of your team?
It is more the question.
How does the energy conversion happen? So this has been titled that you'll be doing energy conversion. So how does that happen?
Okay, we are working on that. We have a problem with that market. The challenge is that they're using a generator. That generator has that produce emissions from gas and oil and using it massively there and are making noise, even noise pollution. This is a two impact and there is no data. And we are not understand and we don't have data that how the emissions produced from this market and from all examples like this local markets and the majority of the of the traders that they are using this generator, using this oil, and dealing, and dealing and the process that they are dealing with this is not in it is not there is no data, and they are working just locally using WhatsApp group, using Facebook and call just like this. And our project is coming first to understand and to measure the emissions that produce from this market. And we will not able to bring our project and our to them directly after before collecting data from them, and the data that we will collect by using even they don't have they were not able to use application or using software like this. Because of that, we said that we will collect this data by using WhatsApp bot or using a telephone code or using a small project that just to help us to get that information from anyone he coming to take oil or gas. We will let him to scan our QR code. We will get data every day. He is coming. He is scanning that QR code. So by this way, after 5 months, 6 months, we will have enough data to know only one project or one market what he is producing. After that, we will work with the electricity sector to let them to deal with the bank and with the solar energy company. So we will work like connecting all these three sectors to help them, and we will give a guarantee with the bank to give them. To let them to get to fund them to help them to exchange from energy from fossil fuel to clean energy, and we will give them guarantee that we will have climate mitigation impact data that will help them to add it to the any reports that will help the company and will help the government to let them to understand that we are working on climate mitigation and we are have a good data. Even the data that we will collect will help us to understand and to measure the impact of that market and the impact of our project that reducing the emissions. And even that data we can use it in the software and even just like this.
Okay, thank you. That works for me. Anyone else can take it on now.
Thanks so much,
Maybe,
Olamide.
maybe,
Thanks,
maybe I
Olam.
can have, maybe I can
Yeah,
have some comments.
yeah,
Thank
please
you a
go ahead.
lot. Thank you a lot, Ali. Your work is very interesting. I think it's a very relevant problem to minimize these emissions and improve the economic performance of these small companies in Africa, in the rural area, especially very relevant. So first, congratulations for the work. Now, my question is more on. I have two questions. How do you plan to get the collaboration of SMEs? If you already reach out to some local partners and if you already ask them if they were interested in the project, I want to understand a bit more of that process. And the other question is, you mentioned a platform which you want to optimize in a way. You scan the QR code, we have this calculation you show. Do you already have some demo of the platform? Thank you.
Ali, you're muted.
So after we did a research to know what is a technology that we can use in collecting this data. But the research bring to us a fact that this market, they are not the buyers, that they are not having enough background about technology, and we could not let them to use a software or data or coding like this that program applications like this. We decided to have three types of technology that we can use. We can use that we can deal with the telecommunication company to let us have like a code that they can pass like dealing with the number. Press 1, 2, 3 to let them have a next progress. This is one. And another one, we can create a WhatsApp bot so they can have that number and the number asking them the question, how many uh, energy you are using, and even he is coming to pay or to pay gas, he will have he will scan or join to that WhatsApp bot to 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 confirm that has pay gas for today and every day. Any time he is coming to get gas or petrol, he scan that QR code that will let him join to the WhatsApp bot. So the WhatsApp bot will take the information. Every day he's coming, he gets the information. So by this way, we can have a data. And another dashboard that we will use, that we will show the government and show the energy company. We will show them the data that we are collecting from the traders and from the CMEs. All the data will bring to us. So we have two tools. We have application that we will show the progress of our project, and we have traditional technology like WhatsApp bot or WhatsApp group that we
Okay.
will collect the data from that market, because that they don't have even using big smartphones like this. They're using just small, local traditional phones even. Just we need to know how we can use this. And the other things that guarantee, how who will guarantee us. So we will have ambassadors that we will trade them about the technique that we will use, that they will help us to collect this data, and they will help us to communicate with the CMEs there, and to have a guarantee that this company is coming for us, that they will help us to reduce the cost of our fossil fuel, and even they will help us to, even if we will let them to trust us, and they want to get benefit because they are a trader. So if we
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Ali.
talk
No,
to
thank
them
you.
that
It
we
was
will
very
reduce
clear.
emissions, maybe they will
Yeah. Thank you.
reduce
Thank
the
you. Now,
cost of the energy. Yes, thank you.
yeah, no, thank you for the explanation. Now it was more clear, and I think having this WhatsApp bot to help, I think is a very smart idea. So good for mentioning. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I think
Thank you.
we'll just stop there. Thank Ali, and thanks to the Energy team. I truly love this idea. I thought it was really cool because there's no data on how much consumption is happening from, using gas or diesel. So again, very unique, beautiful, and it'd be good to see this come to life again. Thanks for this. I saw so much innovation with that. Please let's give the Energy team a round of applause in the chat through your emoji. Great work they've done over there. Thank you, Ali and the Energy team. God bless. All right, we'll move to the next team. Education. Is the education team here?
Yes,
Team
we
Ed-
are here. Yes. Mm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Am I sharing your slide or do you want to share your slide?
I can share the slides on my end.
Okay, let me stop sharing. You have the floor.
Thank you. Please confirm you can see my slides.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Then let me put on my video. Confirm you can see my video.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Agogo Bukunise, and I'll be presenting for the Education Circle. Let's take a look at this scenario. Mary is a 9-to-5er in Lagos, and it's Saturday in April, and she wakes up and sees her house flooded with water. What does she do? What can she do? Every year in Lagos State, which is one of the busiest cities in Africa, by the way, we experience flood due to lack of proper waste disposal or blocked drainages or just heavy rainfall. And the reaction is generic, just posting on social media and showing people, look, we have flood, government, come and save us. So the funny thing is that the problem is not, the problem is flood and waste management. But the main issue is that there is a gap. There's a bridge between the citizens that are experiencing these environmental issues and these environmental institutions that can solve the problem. So the education circle went ahead and we did an online survey and found out the hard truth that 85% of the residents that filled our survey do not know what to do or who to call when they experience environmental issues. So the problem is not where, who, and what to do in case of emergencies. So we kind of categorized these issues into 4 main areas. First of all, most of them that is ignorant, they don't know who to call, or they don't even know what environmental institutions, what is their role in solving the problems. Next is that most of them don't have real-time access. During the rainy season, our internet connection is poor. So they can't even go on the website to, let's say, report the situation. Next, the black hole of no feedback. Even if they report, they don't know what's going to happen after reporting. And finally, on the websites of these environmental institutions, the contact details there are either outdated or not functional. So we went again to our survey and asked this question to be clear, because we are creating a community-driven solution. And we asked, what is the barrier to this environmental crisis? And the most response was that they, like I said, they don't know who to report to. But the one that quietly draws to us, that we all kind of agree to, is that even after reporting, will the issue be solved? So we now asked, okay, what if we bring a solution? We're promising you that, yes, the problem will be solved. what method would you prefer to use to report the situation? And the highest response was the toll-free line, seconded by the WhatsApp. So we now said as a group, what if access to accountability, environmental accountability starts with education? What if the citizens can have a platform where they can learn about institutions to report to and how to go about reporting these environmental emergencies in real time when they're experiencing such crisis? And we came up with the Climate Access Nigeria. Climate Access Nigeria is a civic education and reporting platform where citizens that bridges the knowledge gap between these citizens and the environmental institutions. So they can come on here and they can report the situation. It will be automatically escalated to the right environmental institution. And on this platform, they will still be educated on what to do and how to do it in a step-by-step process. And we collect all this data to inform us on the future on where will be the hotspot or where has been the hotspot for environmental degradation. So what drives this is a formula, a really cool formula we learned during the course of the ESG Tech 2.0 program, which is E is equals to M times DQ. E for education and energy is where we're going to have the human action or the human approach, where we're going to use community mobilization through teachers, schools, market, women and men, and we're going to teach them about these institutions to report to and how to go about it, and also using the toll-free line. So we're changing the narrative from the government is not working to, look, we've created a system and here's how to use the system. Next, for media, we're not just going to be doing advertisement. We're going to make accountability visible. How? Through radio jingles and also through physical posters at strategic areas like in markets, in schools, so that everybody can know that we have a solution or a platform that can solve their environmental issues. So for data, we'll collect this data to know the hotspots and also to know if if the solution is working in real time, the responses and feedback from the end users. Then our design will be so simple that even our grandmas can report floodings and waste management problems. For digital, like our survey said, we're going to be using a toll-free line and a WhatsApp. So the toll-free line will be for calls, and you can track your location to also confirm where you're calling from. And then the WhatsApp can be used to send pictures and videos of what is happening in that area in real time. So tech does not work. Tech without human approach is mostly useless, and that is where the PALS framework comes in. We have the partners, which are the state agencies, the local governments that will commit to actually solving the environmental issues that happen. Then we have the ambassadors, everyday end users, the citizens at risk, the citizens that are suffering from the flood and waste management problems, teachers, youth leaders, market associations that will help to train other citizens after learning how to adopt our solution. And then the leaders, the policymakers, those who help to track and publish our data through reports to show what is working and to find out from the citizens what they need. Our problem is not just mere theory. We have a framework and milestones to track if it will work or when it is working. So the first stage is the pilot stage, where we have 2 local government areas and 5 to 10 wards. And our goal is to ensure that 60% response rate from the agencies is established, and then a 40% reduction in repeat of environmental incidents at this stage. So we combined solving an environmental problem with ensuring that citizens take action that is for the social aspect of the ESG, and then the governance, where the government agencies commit to solving these issues. In 5 years, we're looking to this being the norm in Lagos, where the solution, that is our Climate Access Nigeria, will become a standard in Lagos State and hopefully move to other states in Nigeria and African countries. So climate access should be accountable. Climate issues should be solved. Thank you very much for listening to our solution.
Thank you so much. Team education, that was powerful. So please, let's put some claps and feedback and all that in the chat. And if you have questions, just put it in the chat as well for the education team. I know Lady Vela is in charge. I don't want to say the first name. I can't say it. I know you're in charge of the thematic area for education. We'll listen to your feedback or questions, and then we'll take one from another judge as well. Lady Vela?
Yes. So again, Shipe.
Shikra. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, education team. That was a very well put presentation summarizing your work until today. I'm going to give you a feedback, but I'm going to focus on the strengths, but also I will not say weaknesses, but rather opportunities for improvement. I think you've picked a very important topic on raising awareness about environmental pollution, and the important factor here is that we're not just focusing, which is usually happening, blaming and shaming industry pollution, but also how citizens actually with their actions also impact the climate, the environment, the land where we live in. So it has these components on climate education, raising awareness, but also raising awareness on how to report wrongdoings, and then to close the loop on where to report it and how will the institutions react. So let me just drop in my list. Excuse me, sorry, it's a Saturday and my toddler does not understand what's happening. Just going back to the criteria, I will start with problem clarity. The strength is that it clearly identifies systemic governance problem linking climate literacy, citizen behavior, and ESG risks, such as what you mentioned, flooding, waste management failures. The problem framing connects environmental risks with civic access gaps. What could be good and could add to this problem clarity would be supporting with like quantitative data. If you can provide like what is the flood frequency, do we have any waste management statistics, what is the response time, to fully substantiate the problem scale. Then on the second criteria, African context development depth, demonstrates a strong understanding of the Lagos urban challenges, dense communities, institutional fragmentation, and low-tech communication reality. It uses accessible channels like USSD and radio suited to local conditions. I believe it would have been great if we could also reference existing environmental governance structure in Nigeria, regulations or climate policies that would support the project more firmly when providing the institutional landscape. On the third one, on research and evidence, there's a very good logical analysis on why existing solutions fail. For example, social media complaints without accountability. You send them, but there's no response. And that sends a very bad signal to the others who want to continue reporting, but they know that it's not going to end up anywhere. Awareness campaigns without action pathways. So it shows a very clear systems thinking. It could be great if it had some more information on data sets, if available, okay? Again, I'm saying if available, in order to provide like more conceptual analysis on measurable evidence. On the integration of education data design tools, I think there's a very strong integration on that. You mentioned the micro-learning modules, school eco-clubs, USSD reporting, dashboards to connect education to civic action and accountability. The media component is present, but it's not that much operationalized. For example, storytelling in radios are mentioned, but not maybe fully like expanded on how do you actually go about on implementing, what do you hope to achieve through that, or just a suggestion. On feasibility, again, you mentioned a pilot scope, which is realistic and achievable, I believe. Use of widely available technologies increases feasibility. You also have acknowledged that there are technical capacity gaps. What is something that is maybe out of your control is a dependence on agency cooperation and response performance that could affect the implementation success, which again, it's outside of your control, but it's something that you can still like reach out and seek collaboration with. I'll try to be brief because I know I'm taking too long, but there is a clear identification of partners. You have included a steering committee oversight, which is very good, advisory board support, data governance, leadership. Overall, I believe that your key strengths are that you're presenting a strong system level framing of climate risk and civic access, very good alignment with principles, linking education, reporting, accountability, clear ESG governance focus. Some key areas for improvement, again, to summarize, it would be great if you can link evidence-based with empirical data. If you can clarify governance decision-making and partners, what the expectations are and what commitments they can provide. And just to like a little bit more expand on media engagement and how do you plan to implement it going forward. But again, well done. Don't take these as weaknesses, take them more as ideas for improvement. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Lady Beller, and education team. That was awesome. It's your background for me. Love the background. Looks like you guys put a lot of work into designing many of these things. So well done. Anybody else wants to add? We'll just give 1 minute to another judge. Anybody wants to add any more comments or thoughts with the education team? Anyone? Okay, right. We'll move on to the next team. Thank you so much, education team. Move on to the next team now. And the next team is media. Is media team, are they available? Ready? Media team. Media. Anybody from the media team? Nobody from the media team? Okay, I think we'll come back to that. Maybe they'll be ready later. The data team.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, is that the media team?
Everybody.
Is this the media team? Hi, Joseph.
May I go ahead, sir?
Yes, please. Would you be sharing your presentation or should I share the presentation?
Hi. Here goes nothing. Okay, please confirm that you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Do you
want
want
to share the slides too?
Okay.
So give me a minute. Okay. I want to be sure this is on full display. That's a challenge. So, everyone, my name is Joseph, and today I will be presenting our media capstone project ESG in Tech 2.0, focusing on reframing sources on how the media, energy, data, design, and digital interventions can restore visibility and trust in a context of humanitarian crisis by so I'm just
Okay, it looks like we lost Joseph there, possibly due to his internet. One of the problems we should be solving in Africa. All right, we'll take the data team while we wait for Joseph to come back. Data team, are you ready?
Yes, we are. Can you hear me?
We can totally hear you. Are you going to share or should I share?
I think you can share, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let me find your presentation. Data. Okay, give me 1 minute to.
All right.
All right, just share my screen. Share. Just confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Okay. That's not what I was trying to do.
Good day, everyone. My name is Obed Shemi, and I'm representing the data team. And the name of our initiative is Community Work. And the title of our Capstone project is From Symbolic Reporting to Substantive Impact, a regenerative ESG framework for Dangote Sugar Refinery PLC by converting industrial waste into community wealth. Next slide, please. So the whole backdrop of this story is that we made research from various sources such as the Bank of Industry 2024, 2025 Industry Survey, and the Dangote Sustainability Report of 2024. And we found out the following, that even though Dangote Sugar Refinery is a leader in sub-Saharan Africa, there is a hidden cost with the profits and also the economic growth it has provided for Nigeria over the years. And the host communities in Nasarawa, Adamawa, and Lagos have gone through a series of problems, especially environmental related problems. And our core vision at Community-wide is to bridge the substantive ESG reporting framework and to convert industrial waste, such as the effluents and the sugarcane baggage, sugarcane passage, into community wealth, and also provide clean water solution. So we'll be integrating various things from the SDGs, such as clean water, that's SDG 6, SDG 9, which is responsible production and consumption, and SDG 8, which is decent work and economic growth. Next slide, please. Now, the problem that we observed is that according to recent Nigeria's MSME data by the Bank of Industry, over 72% of businesses are aware of ESG, but only 28% have a formalized framework for compliance and implementation. And this results in symbolic reporting, which looks good on paper, but does not really fix issues like, the water waste, as in the case of Dangote refinery. So our prototype is that we want to showcase real-time data provided through our platform. So we integrated Google Forms and DataBox, which is a data analysis software, to ensure that community members give real-time data to the Dangote refinery and also all associated stakeholders who have access to such data. So we also noticed that over 35% of the solid waste that is produced in their Namo plant is used for 19% of their energy mix in the refinery to offset energy costs. But we noticed that that does not really solve the problem, as if 19% is being used by the Basaj and it produces over 35%, we could convert that into something more useful and valuable. And that's where we thought of creating a value product, which is the alternative biodegradable clam plates.
which are being used globally, especially for sustainability reasons. And due to the recent Lagos ban on single-use plastics, such as takeaway packs, that could also be a value addition to Dangote sugar refineries, as they also are a key leader in producing such waste. Now, a bankable ESG framework moves beyond simple awareness to localized policies that drive institutional investment. Next slide, please. So we'll be using the strategic framework that we learned in our over the course of these 6 weeks, which is the E equals to MDQ. And first, we'll be looking at education. We aim to educate and train 1,000 ambassadors, primarily youth and women, which will offset the youth bulge in the Nigerian population, because we have over 70% of Nigerian youths which are in need of employment. And they can be trained on data collection and also in the process of working in this sustainable bagasse pulping, which would help in the production of these sustainable packages. Then media access. We are launching a transparency dashboard for communities to track water quality and health, because that was one of the key problems that was identified from the secondary data we collected from the sustainability report. So that way, aside from the water pollution monitoring, which Dangote obviously does, they'll be able to get real-time access to the data at any point on demand. Then the data analysis would be conducted by our team of trained youths. And then the eco design, which focuses on utilizing the pit from the bagasse for factory power and converting the sugar fiber into eco packaging. And the digital tools is to integrate this data box for operational insights, which will be fed into the ESG finance reports. Next slide, please. So our regenerative data loop focuses first on data collection and utilizing data for good. And also, we will now get the surplus bagasse into biodegradable plates to meet the Lagos State plastic ban demand. And hopefully, by the time we link these values together, it would improve community trust and also support, and also grant access to green bond finance, which is over $3 trillion in current capitalization. And the outcome is that this becomes an asset, no longer a cost for Dangote sugar refineries. Next slide, please. So the smart metrics is that the current state is that they utilize the fuel, which is around $40 per ton for internal heating, which is not really that efficient. But by the time they convert that into the bagasse, our proposed sustainable solution, it will cost over $600 to $800 per ton for fast mover consumer goods, which is a very huge untapped market potential, especially given that Dangote of its current market value could increase its profitability and also ensure that communities get employed. This will grant access to economic development and also decent work. This leads to a 15 times value increase in upcycling, leading to a circular economic growth. And the cost can be offset by green bond interest savings. Next slide, please. So we'll be utilizing our partnerships framework, which is called the PALS roadmap, where our partners get access, which is Dangote sugar refineries and government. They get access from the government to operate this raw bagasse, and also get access from the NAFDAC for the National Agency for Food, Drug and Administration and Control, in order to ensure that these are of quality standard. And our ambassadors are the youths and women who are going to be employed, and they will act as human data nodes, one for the data collection solution, and also for the bagasse upcycling solution that we have. Then our leaders are the community. We are the ones that are going to be monitoring this data and managing the data architecture to make sure that it meets international investor standards, such as the GRI 303. And the governance framework is that we want to ensure there's no tampering of this data. So we intend to use blockchain verified means to eliminate greenwashing and to avoid any form of data tampering to ensure that these data are being measurable. However, the only downside is that currently we do not have a blockchain expert on our team, but we believe that by the time of the implementation, we'll be able to integrate such people into the workforce. And my partner, Victoria Oyewo, has sent a dashboard for us to check. You can check, is live right now, and you can check what we are doing with community work. So next slide, please. So the roadmap and final recommendation is that we actually intended it for it to be 14 months for us to ensure monitoring and evaluation and also reiteration on any observations we make. But for the first 3 months, we'll deploy community work in Adamawa and also the Namu plant to ensure that we build trust together, because obviously there have been various news incidents from the media that Nangode has not really been doing a good job in that aspect of the water control and water pollution control. So once we get that data, we'll be able to notice and fix any challenges in that regards. Then for phase 2, for validation, we'll install a hybrid depleting unit, a hybrid cascade depleting unit at the refinery to create a prototype line for baggage tableware, where there will be production of biodegradable packages. And lastly, we ensure that once it is rolled out and it meets market, standard and quality, it moves to Lagos, which is a very good market size for us to produce, because there is always there is importation of these sustainable biodegradable packages. But when we can produce this in-house in Nigeria, this could also be a net positive for us. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay.
That's about it. Yes,
that's about it. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So in conclusion, all I want to say is that we have the data available, but it's just for us to figure out how we can make it more bankable. And this is where we want to utilize data for good to ensure that it's not just for reporting, but also it ensures value across community and even for the company. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, data team, and thanks, Obed, for sharing that. We'll take feedback now from the judges. Who's in charge of data now?
I think should be me.
Oh, that's you. Okay, please go ahead. And
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. No, it was a very, very good presentation. Thank you a lot, Obed. It was very rich. I really liked that you shared the dashboard. It clearly showcase what you want to achieve. I think regarding problem clarity was very good. You have a clear economic and social problem that you identified. This industrial issue that their revenue doesn't translate to commodity wealth, I totally agree, is a very common problem. Not only in Africa, but even worldwide, that is a major issue. That communities, when they have these big industries and refineries and even power plants, they should really be forced to have some contribution to the community to make sure this is a more of a win-win solution. Then the context is good, is an important issue across major industries in Africa. I think here it would be good if you can highlight other examples, not only of this sugary, but says the same is happening in this community in Lagos, in that community. Give several examples to reinforce evidence in the research. You had a good analysis, but like I said, I would like to see the overall problem in the country to understand some other examples of how these refineries, big industries are affecting the community negatively. But then in the end, you show the dashboard, so then I think you were able to highlight the capacity of the research by showing this. In the E equal to MD3, you have a good integration. I'm just concerned about the ambition. You said you want to have 1,000 ambassadors, which is good to have ambition, but you need is to have a clear plan on how to get them and how to maintain their motivation. Because it's something that we see a lot in these networks is sometimes we can even recruit people and in the beginning they are interested to work, but after several months or they are too busy or they are not so engaged, and it is good we to have a plan on how to engage them. The media access that you also mentioned is very relevant. I think it is very good to emphasize the critical issues affecting the community and having media with online, Facebook, Instagram, and so on, and even websites showcasing these problems affecting the community are important because sometimes the industries only act when they have news in the media. When we have media showcasing that they have issues, that unfortunately that's sometimes the only way that the industries will solve the situation. So I think it's good to emphasize this. The feasibility. The feasibility. You mentioned some parts about the economic gains, but honestly, it was not very clear to me how you want to translate this into economical gains. So maybe then in the end, if you can just briefly in 1 minute explain this, I will appreciate. The same with accountability. Accountability was also not very clear. The PALS activation, you have a very good integration with community leaders. I think when we emphasize the question of greenwashing and the importance to have a system to measure it, I think is good. You mentioned blockchain, but maybe not. Since that is sometimes a bit complex, you can even try to have something in ChatGPT or Claude mechanism that tries to see if what people submit is really real. I think you can create something with that easily, and then it will be a good way. So good you are thinking about it. Yeah, please, please. I
Yes.
see you. I
So
see you have
yes. So yes, you are very right, sir. So that's why we utilized DataBox. DataBox gives real-time AI feedback on
good,
the
good.
on the response because it's directly from Google Forms that our data collectors distribute questionnaires to assess the communities and to make sure that they check the situations on ground. But as soon as they are feeding in the data, it is being processed, as you can see in the dashboard there.
Okay, okay, good, good. So that is good. That's good. Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you,
And
sir.
then in the governance model, you didn't mention too much about the governance model. So then if you can also just give some details, some of your colleagues mentioned steering committees and having kind of a board. It will also be interesting if you can add some of this idea. But my main issue, which I just for you to think about it, I think the work is quite good, is very relevant. So congratulations for it. Very rich.
Sir.
I think it's a very important issue.
Okay.
My only question is, you mentioned you want to reduce 30% waterborne illness in a target within 12 months. Uh, this is ambitious, this is good, but maybe you need to have a more clear path on how to achieve this. Because repair alone may not solve this issue because you need to account also for some hygiene behavior change, water treatment maybe at the use. There is also some seasonal variation in illness reporting. Sometimes in the summer we have more illness than in the winter, so we need to check also what this is accounted. So this is the only, I will say, critical part, but overall is a very good work. You have grounded in real data, is commercially viable, is structurally sound. So these comments I give is just a way that you can make it stronger to be ready for the investors. So congrats on the work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Joanne. Jao, thank you so much. Is there any other comments or thoughts, or even a question for the
Okay,
data team?
all right.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yes,
Please go ahead.
yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
It was a very interesting presentation, and I like the fact that there is this very strong ESG integration, right? Where, you know, the excellent use of Nigerian context, there were quantifiable matrices, and well, they also had the clear governance structure, right? And I also would say waste to wealth, you know, circular economy model that they articulated. So I really appreciate the fact that there was a very strong ESG integration. My concern is when it comes to the solutions, right? I just feel there is this overly complex solution, right? The project tries to, you know, combine water infrastructure, manufacturing, blockchain, ESG data platforms, you know, and exports. So I just feel that they appear too ambitious. It's good to be ambitious, right? But I just feel they appear too ambitious. So I have two questions, right? The question would be, what happens if Dangote Refinery refuses partnership, right? And the other one, why is blockchain necessary instead of standard ESG reporting, right? So I mean, this is a very impressive project, a very impressive project when it comes to the conception behind it. But like many innovation challenges, the execution realism is mostly the challenge. But this is a good presentation, so they might just have to look at these few areas. But I think it's a good presentation and a good if this pulls through, it's a good one. So thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Edith, and thank you, Data's team. Well done to you guys. That was really good. Awesome stuff. All right, we'll move to the next team, media. I don't know if you guys are ready now, before we go to design and digital. Media, are you ready now? Joseph, it looks like you're back in California.
Yes, I am back.
Okay.
Good afternoon. So
Good
give me a
afternoon.
moment. I'll share my screen. We go through view. Okay. Apologies about earlier. Good afternoon. I really hope you can see my screen. So my name is Joseph, and like I said earlier, I'll be presenting our Media Capstone project, ESG Tech 2.0, focusing on reframing Sudan's perspective narrative. And basically, our project explores how media, energy, data, design, and digital interventions can restore visibility and trust, especially in the context where humanitarian crises are amplified by information blackouts. So, I mean, let's run straight down into it. So firstly, I'd like us to take a quick rundown at the problem snapshot. And it is imperative.
Joseph.
Yes.
Sorry, are you sharing your screen?
Yes, I am. I'm sharing my screen.
We can't see your screen.
How about now?
It's still loading.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now we can. All right, go ahead.
All right, thank you. So Sudan has endured over 1,000 days. I mean, that's more than 3 years. So that's about 1,000 days of conflict. And this has affected about 3.7 million people. That's 4 times more than the people that were affected by the World War II. So, and that's according to the World Health Organization in 2026. And the nationwide and periodic internet blackouts combined with attacks on media outlets have created several blind spots. So this has allowed a whole lot of misinformation to flourish, and it has impeded effective aid delivery. And this, there's been similar cases which has occurred globally, such as the tensions between Iran and the US, and demonstrating the recurring nature of these challenges. So basically, our work focuses on addressing the critical information gap to improve humanitarian outcomes. Okay, so one of the quick things I would really like to do to make our session very engaging. So before we dive in, I want to do something a little different to help us connect. So I want us to do a quick finger down challenge. So how the finger down challenge works is you raise 5 fingers. So I ask you a question, then you put a finger down until so the first thing I would like us to do, I would like you to put a finger down if you've ever experienced power failure. You have 5 fingers up. Put a finger down if you have ever experienced power failure. Put a finger down if you've ever faced internet blackouts. I just faced mine a few minutes ago. And put a finger down if you believe we are living in a world increasingly shaped by relentless wars. Okay, for the first one, I'd like you to put a finger down if you don't believe media can change the narrative. And now I'd like you to now leave the last finger up if you feel a personal connection to this crisis. And I need you to leave that finger up if you are ready to stand with me as we explore how media can drive change. And I almost forgot to give you a context of Sudan. So Sudan is a country in the Northeast Africa, which is in the grip of an engineered media blackout. So internet shutdowns have been engineered, attacks on broadcasting. For the past 3 years, the media has been gagged. You do not see their news amplified as much as the everyday ones you see. And that's pretty sad because it does not allow for the problem within the Sudan society to be identified, and that we can't even think of how to come about humanitarian solutions for them. So moving to the next slide, I'd like us to look at why we are analyzing media first. So just like I said earlier, Sudan is facing nationwide periodic internet blackouts coupled with direct attacks on the media infrastructure. So I want you to imagine this: 33.7 million people are in urgent need, but their suffering is invisible, hidden by the engineered blackouts. For over 1,000 days, this war has persisted, and traditional humanitarian aid systems are failing. According to the World Health Organization, again in 2026, this crisis mirrors over global struggles. So whilst the growing tensions between the Iran and the US, those ones tend to overshadow the ones that are even happening right here within the African continent. So this tells you that information blackouts are being weaponized. So I want you to take a deep breath, and because this is not just statistics, this is about real people. These are real families. These are stories of real people, and their future will definitely be erased if we don't act. So today we are here to confront this narrative. So we are going to be using media and the technology to bring visibility, restore trust, and to ensure that no one is forgotten, no one is left behind, the media is not gagged, nobody is sidelined. So why the media must be started with? So the media is not just the reflection of events, it shapes them. And according to the agenda setting theory, the issues that media highlights become the issues we perceive as most important. And when we look at Sudan, we see a classic case. If the world isn't aware, it doesn't interpret to a crisis. So when we frame Sudan's struggle through verified local voices, it challenges the dominant narrative. And finally, media skills. So like the cultivation theory would suggest, pardon me for quoting a number of theories, I'm a mass communication student, but like the cultivation theory would suggest, repeated exposure to certain content shapes our worldview. So by designing media for low bandwidth environments, I'm talking rural areas, I'm talking places that have limited access to the internet, that have limited access to verified sources. So by designing media for low bandwidth environments, so the kind of media we'll be designing would likely be something around radio, podcasts, and short videos. We bring this crisis into the homes that would otherwise remain unaware. So as we move forward, remember that media is not passive, it is active. It sets agendas, it shapes the perception, and it drives action. And the media forms one of the major things that we as people consume. So moving down to the diagnosis. So we are starting with the energy, education, and media. And from the energy perspective, since 2023 thereabouts, Drone
Just
strikes in Sudan have killed over 3,017 people, and it has critically damaged infrastructure. It has cut off electricity. It has damaged the need for communications. I mean, imagine an entire city without power while trying to report or access aid. So, I mean, the situation is a very devastating one. And to address this, my team and I, we propose decentralized solar microgrids, reliable broadband connections, and solar-powered reporting kits. So the essence of going from this perspective is to ensure that we have a framework that is sort of independent, that sort of prevents the media from being limited or fully dependent on maybe the government. So this ensures that that even under conflict, the communities and journalists can still stay connected. And from education, we can see that globally, there's still a lack of understanding about the scale of this crisis, and this slows down the humanitarian aid. So education disruptions means that communities are often left ill-informed, because I mean, if it's not spoken about, you do not know about it, and you do
Hi,
not feel the urge.
Joseph. Sorry to interrupt. Please, can you just share a slide on behalf of him, the president?
Oh, you can't see my slide?
No,
let
it's
me
not,
let me
not
share.
showing.
Oh my goodness.
It was showing, but it wasn't moving.
Okay, sorry. Let me.
So I've been also trying to
Would
share.
share,
Yeah.
no, we'll share for you, don't worry. Thank you.
Okay, Arafat, you got that part covered, right?
The president will share for you.
Okay. All right. Sorry about the.
Just tell me when to move to the next slide. Is this media?
Yeah, so we are still on we are on slide 4. We are on slide 4.
Okay.
Okay, let me just run down through the education. Okay, I think I mentioned the education phase already. So for media in its own respect, independent journalism has collapsed basically in Sudan. It's very obvious. And there have been over 67 violations of Sudanese media, and 14 journalists, media workers were killed in 2025 alone. So, I mean, this destruction of broadcasting stations has made it nearly impossible to get verified stories out. It has, and that means our response is segmented media output, such as some of the voices of the Now Radio, Fact Check Sudan, and short videos, and other Sudan unfiltered documentaries. So these outputs ensure that grassroots voices are amplified while still maintaining accuracy. Because I mean, as much as we want to put out what the Sudanese people are going through, we do not want to misinform people globally. We do not want to also disinform them at the same time. So at this stage, the focus is very clear, because without reliable energy, education, and media channels, no humanitarian or ESG-driven solution can succeed. So this diagnosis sets the foundation for the next part of the model, and that's the data, the design, and digital, which we'll cover in the next slide. So, yeah, the next slide, please. So, humanitarians currently lack reliable information on famine, displacement, and which has, I mean, affected 33.7 million people. So what the major reason why I'm mentioning this right now is because I'm trying to emphasize the data. So these blind spots has made aid less effective, and it has made it slow to a very large extent. So to solve this, we propose a blockchain-based humanitarian tracking system. So there will be real-time blackout maps and misinformation tracking dashboards, because we know that as the information keeps flying, there would be misinformation trailing alongside. So there would be misinformation tracking dashboards, and our ambassadors, that includes youth digital content creators, women leaders, diaspora influencers. They would be producing and circulating verified audio and short videos, and run peer-to-peer verification training. So this all ensures that the communities themselves become a key part of the data collection and verification process. So it's lessens the whole misinformation thing. And then for the design, we will be having armed factions that exploit deepfakes and propaganda to spread fear and confusion. I mean, so to counter this, we would use culturally relevant storytelling. I mean, because if you're putting something out there and you are more or less about the facts, because of how the world and the media landscape is right now, if it's not put into a storytelling format, if it's not put in, if we do not use this model, the one where you empathize, if it is not put into that model, I mean, it does not become relatable. That we do not feel connected to the story. So to counter this, we would be using culturally relevant storytelling, and we can do short reels, 90 seconds animated explainers, like how silence is engineered, and icon-based infographics. So we'll be using various multimedia methods. We'll be using video, audio, pictures, all of those things that would usually capture our attention when we are doom scrolling. So we would be making people to focus more on these things that can actually help to impact the lives of other people. So by creating this visually compelling and context-aware content, we are helping communities to discern truth from manipulation. And for the digital, so would be analyzing internet shutdowns, signal jamming, and false reporting mechanisms that silence the population. So to solve that, our solutions would be low bandwidth distribution channels. So those ones are more likely to be sustained in local environments, and Starlink connectivity, WhatsApp broadcast. I mean, you can see how much power WhatsApp broadcast has when it comes to passing false information. So why don't we leverage that when we are trying to pass the right information? So there would also be encrypted reporting tools and peer-to-peer networks. So imagine a community that cut off for weeks finally regaining access to trusted information. These are the tools that make that possible. So I mean, together, these solutions ensure that data is verified, messages are clearly designed, and digital access is restored, creating a resilient media ecosystem even under severe constraints. So while the first part of this model addresses infrastructure and human capacity, this part also ensures that information, narrative, and connectivity are protected and scalable. So for the next part, we are going to be looking at our PALs, and the PALs, what we describe as PALs is the framework for roles and responsibility. And PALs actually stands for partners, ambassadors, and leaders. So they are the backbone of our implementation strategy. So first, let's look at the partners. So they include the organizations, Radio, The Banger, our media partner, Code for Africa. I mean, they provide fact-checking and civic tech support. So their responsibilities would be to distribution, fact-checking, and secure relay of information. So I want you to imagine a network of trusted partners acting as bridges between isolated communities and the global world. They are the infrastructure that keeps verified information flowing. And I mean, right now in the world, there's a similar framework which we describe as the gatekeepers. But the people who are meant to act as the gatekeepers are instead they are acting as the ones that actually gag the media. So when the people who are gatekeepers have nothing to are independent of the information that is being disseminated, they do not feel the need to actually gag the media or to limit the outflow of information to the global public. So the leaders are the institutional authorities, the university journalism departments, humanitarian cluster like the UNOCHA. So their responsibility would be governance, hosting steering committees, and ensuring continuity. Because I mean, what's the point of starting something that is not sustainable, that cannot stand in the next couple of years? So we would be ensuring that the continuity is very possible.
Your time is up. Your time is up. Do you want to just wrap up in the next 1 minute?
Okay. Just to let me move to the just to bring this to a quick close. So after the whole pilot phase, we'll be moving into the validation scale. And just to quickly validate the key points indicators include audience reach, the number of debunks issued, and improvements in aiding target. So by tracking these metrics, we ensure that our interventions are not only reaching people, but also producing measurable improvements in awareness, trust, and in humanitarian response. And moving to the last slide, which is the call to action, we need to sign memorandums of understanding, MOUs, with our media and fact-checking partners. So these agreements will formalize collaboration, ensure accountability, and create reliable channels for content distribution. So I mean, we also need to improve the quick win pilot budget and initiate letters of interest outreach. So this will secure these resources required for initial content production, deployment of solar kits, and operational costs for the verification cell. And then lastly, we will set a steering committee within the first 2 weeks. So this committee composed of partners, ambassadors, and leaders. We guide the project, monitor process, and ensure alignment with ESG goals. And just to bring this finally to a close, I would want to sincerely thank you for listening and taking the time to engage with our project. And reframing Sudan's narrative is not just about reporting facts, it's about restoring visibility, trust, and agency to millions of people whose voices have been silenced. So through the strategic media, verified data, and resilient digital and energy solutions, we can make a tangible difference. So this is more than a project, it's a call for collaboration, innovation, and accountability. So together, I think we can create a system that ensures that no one is left in the shadows. Thank you once again for listening. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Thanks so much. That was a great presentation. Wondering who is in charge of the data thematic area from our judges. If you can go ahead now and give some feedback. If there's any question also for the media team, you can put it in the chats as well for them. That would be great. I don't know who's in charge of media.
So good morning, Mr. Ifosa. I believe that I'm the one in charge of media. So thank you so much. A great job to all the presenters so far. Well done to the media team. I would like to say that you've done an amazing job bringing this to our own awareness, because I can clearly state that as an African, I was definitely not aware to this extent the level of crisis that Sudan is in. So for that, thank you so much for bringing this awareness. You put me on a research spree, and that's really good. Now, bringing it home to this particular solution that is being proposed, I can see a couple of brilliance in it. It's really good. It's really, really good. I liked the EMDQ frameworks you implemented. I can see. I also like the fact that your PALS strategy. It's also pretty brilliant. Real good work. The blockchain, yeah, it's there. However, I would like to point out a couple of, I would not want to say loopholes, but I want you to evaluate and go back to the drawing board to really look at it. I'll point them out and ask one or two questions, and I'll be out of your faces. So the first one has to do with the blockchain humanitarian systems, decentralized solar microgrids, amongst others. However, you had also said to me that this is an active war zone, and there is unrest in the community. So my question, or yes, my thought is, what would happen if so what is your specific contingency if a community solar power media node is destroyed or captured? What would happen to it? How does this system maintain data integrity? You already talked about how just in 2015 we had, I think, over 14 journalists being killed. So how can you now guarantee these persons that I would like to say whistleblowers, the people that are supplying you with information? So how would you want to be able to guarantee their safety? And when the hardware itself becomes a liability, then the second question or area that I would like to point out would be the part where you said you would really like to conduct baseline assessment and map misinformation trends, which of course is a very key problem. However, I need to know that you had said earlier that the very problem that you want to solve is data collection blackout. So if the information assumes like a level of access and stability that the problem statement itself says does not exist, so how do you intend to get data? And I know you said how are you going to fact check the data? I know you've pointed out a couple of things, you've pointed out quite a number of things, but I also still think that you need to look at it to say, how do you fact check the data? Because if one of the biggest problems we have in Africa is our data sources, they are not reliable. You check this site, it says this amount. You check the other site, it gives you a different number. So how do you collect your data? I'm really interested in knowing how you intend to collect your data to kickstart the process, and what would be your zero infrastructure entry point. So what would your entry point be? What is your next line of action? I know you documented it, but I need to see like specific 1 to 3 key next step that you're going to be implementing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so for your first question, which centered around the sustainability of the project. I mean, that's us looking at what happens if solar systems fail, and how do we also protect our gatekeepers? How do we protect those that, I mean, how do we protect those that are putting out the information for us? So I think one of the key things is when a certain level of attention has been given to the situation, it allows for external support. That's what I'm strongly advocating for. And I mean, beyond that, there would be less of the intimidations, oppressions, and attempts to gag the media, because at every point in time, that is where the focus is. That is the subject of discussion all around the world. I mean, that is what we are looking at driving. But I mean, this does not totally eradicate the fact that, okay, there would still be threats here and there. But I mean, given that this is visible, when the threats come up, there would be mechanisms in place to curb that, because now the problem has been identified. We can already see the problem, and then we can now take actionable steps that to either provide aid to the journalists in danger, or to improve the infrastructure of the area that has been affected. I mean, given that we already identified the problem, that way the global audience will be able to prefer a viable situation. So what we are just trying to do is amplify the problems, help the world see what the problems is, and we'll leave it to the trusted segments of the world to propose their solutions and bring them to life. And then the second one, which I believe, the second question, which I believe centered around how we get our data. So there would be specified sources that would be trusted. So these specified sources would, most interestingly, not be tied to partner bodies that are of interest. Because I mean, when bodies that have interest in these things, like for example, the government, when they are involved, it is very easy for them to limit what goes out, because I mean, they are part of the affected, or they are part of the people that are being reported, in quotes. So that means we are going to be engaging media organizations that are not owned by the government. So independently owned media organizations, collectively owned, community-owned media organizations. Then we would also bring trusted digital creators. I mean, instead of the whole hypo clownry that has been going on TikTok and the rest of that, why don't we have digital content creators talk more about this? Why don't we have them get involved? Because they have a huge fan base. They are trusted folks, and when these people work hand in hand with the data sources, with the organizations that are standing to amplify the voices, we see a solution. We see solutions being formed. We see solutions being formulated. We find out that, okay, yes, people are more interested in these things just because this person spoke about it. And then for the third part, the actionable steps. I mean, for one, the fact that we had this session already has made more people to be informed about what is going on right now. And so when we have the media, all of us use our media platforms to not just talk about the same thing, to not just set an agenda for memes, caricature, for something we just laugh about. I mean, that's what most of us do with our social media platforms. That's what most of us do with the mediums that are at our fingertips. So the next line of action now would be for us to use our media platforms instead to put out facts, not just what someone said, not just what, thank you, I'm wrapping up already. Not just what another person said, voicing out what another person said, but putting out our take based on the facts that we've gotten. Thank you.
All right, so I've gotten your feedback, but I still see a lot of wishy-washy savior-oriented processes and solution. The circle of media is not complete if the solutions are not implemented. So I think that you have a great problem. Your solution still needs quite a number of build up, and you might need to look into it, whereby whilst the solutions are a little bit, we are waiting, you can start with something that I believe can be done. You mentioned WhatsApp community platforms. You could, persons in diaspora have their family back home. We could have an anonymous community platform where people report life as it is happening. You don't have to be in Sudan to get that. You could start this media hub that enlightens this. Of course, you mentioned the whole what's the name now? Social media 90 seconds video. All of this could be taken and be implemented first, and seeing how to bridge the gap between the information lapses that is there. Once the light has been shown, then you look into calling for they themselves to strengthen their governance system. I do believe whilst we could get interventions and all, it's not a sustainable way to fix a particular sovereign country. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much to our judges and to the media team. We're running behind time, so we'll try and do things faster, and hopefully we'll just ask everyone to also give us an extra 20 or 30 minutes after the 1 o'clock. I'm sure we're going to run into that time. Okay, Joseph, you can stop sharing your screen now. You're still sharing, if you don't mind. I'm trying to stop it here, but I can't. I don't know why. Okay. All right, moving on. Moving on from media team. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We truly enjoyed it. Moving on to media team, we'll go now to the design team. Design team, are you guys ready?
Yes. Good
Okay.
day, everyone. Yeah.
Good
So
day.
please, you can share the slides.
Okay, cool. Just give me a minute. I will find your slides and I will share design. Okay. Share. You just confirm you can see my screen.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can see.
Over to you, please.
Okay. Okay. So good day, everyone. My name is Julia, and I'm presenting for group design, all protocols observed. So we are the design, the angle we decided to take it from is human-centered design. And then our regional focus is West Africa in Nigeria. Next slide, please. Okay, please, next slide. Okay, so the problem is that over 90% of employed Nigerians are in the informal sector. We are talking about 90 million informal workers, according to the National Bureau of Statistics in 2024. Most of them lack a structured retirement savings, and these informal workers include the traders, transport workers, freelancers, business owners, and then micro entrepreneurs, including both male and female. And then the problem is that most of them lack a structured retirement savings plan. They depend on family or old age support for support and are exposed to financial insecurity once they can no longer work. Next slide, please. Okay, So before I go to the opportunity, also most of the informal sector workers rely on cooperative savings, but that is not the same as the um, pension plan, which the similar to, is not the same as the pension plan that's from the government. But the opportunity here is that the country already has a micro pension scheme in place. It's been revised over the years, but adoption is still low. Only about 215,000 workers have been enrolled, according to the National Pension Commission in 2025. And why this opportunity or why this solution that has been in place hasn't worked, despite the several revisions, is that there is they don't have that much access to the direct informal workers. There is a low level of awareness and education, and then the current education pathways do not match how informal workers they earn and save. Prior to the current micro pension scheme, which was recently revised in 2018 and came into action in 2019, there was a pension scheme that was similar to what the formal sector uses, but that did not cater for all of these things, how the informal sector works. And so the revised version has catered for that. And it exists, but most of the informal workers are not aware of it or are not enrolled on it because according to the statistics, it was less than 1%. Next slide, please. So we as FlexCare, our solution is a strategic social reform. We are redesigning the system so that we can get the informal workers onto the pension scheme. So our system is just amplifying what already exists, the revised national micro pension scheme. So yeah, we are just simplifying the journey. It's already there, but they are not adopting. So we are looking at why they are not adopting, and then taking it into and amplifying it. Next slide, please. Okay. So how FlexCare, what we are proposing is a system redesign. They okay. So workers already have existing contributions to trade unions and community associations. As I said, the cooperative savings, which because it's a cooperative, and then they are familiar with the people who are they are doing the savings with, the people who are handling the money. So it's a familiarity situation. That's why they are more used to that. And then we are bringing what we are bringing on board is that yes, we know that exists, but the micro pension scheme also exists. And then we plan to bridge this gap by amplifying that the pension savings contributions has full transparency according to the current policy in place. So every payments that's or every contribution, you would get an instant receipt SMS, and which is creating proof and transparency. And workers can opt out at any time. You can check your balance through digital platforms using USSD. And then also there is in the policy, there is a part where workers can withdraw about up to 40% of their income from the first contribution after 3 months. So from your first contribution after 3 months, you can withdraw about 40%, since informal sector are more prone to in contingency situations. Next slide, please. Okay, so how the E equals MD cubed aligns with all of this is that education, there is currently low pension literacy and misinformation. And so we are going to amplify the education through, we will come to the level of the community, because these traders and things, they don't want the big tech English and all of that. They want something that they can relate to. So we'll be using their union leaders and cooperative leaders for that. Then data. Yes, we know that pension policy in place already has the fact that you can check your contributions, updates and everything. But I don't, so we are also proposing a full monitoring and evaluation system so that the we can track what success looks like. So design, we are focusing on simple, low literacy user journeys that match informal income patterns. Media, we are using community stories and endorsements. So media and education is going hand in hand here. And the digital platforms, the PFAs, public fund administrators, I forgot to mention that. They are licensed by the Pension Commission of Nigeria to collect the pension contributions, whereas the pension fund, I think PFCs, they manage the fund. So, okay. So seamless integration. Okay, so through seamless integration, next slide. Next slide. Am I audible? Okay. So the PALS network, our partners are the pension fund administrators, the PFAs, government agencies, which would be working together with, and then the National Pension Commission. And so our ambassadors are the trade unions, market associations, community leaders, leaders. We, the FlexCare implementation team, that's the design team members. And we are also, okay, so our accountability structure also, with our governance and accountability structure, we have placed Tech for Good Africa there so that we can, for accountability and governance sake, because we are not doing it on our own. So we are leveraging the current credibility of Tech for Good Africa to implement this. Next slide, please. Okay, so our implementation roadmap. We chose Kaduna in Nigeria, Kaduna State, because there is we chose the transport sector, and that is because there's a lot of like the transport system is more coordinated there, and most of our group members are also located in northern Nigeria. And then the Pension Commission also has outreaches to various states for this upcoming International Women's Day. So all this together, we decided to choose Kaduna State. We actually spoke to people on ground. And so the feedback we got was that firstly, a lot of them were not aware of the revised policy, despite it's been in place since 2019. And then some people were intrigued and wanted to know more, wanted to get on board, and others also were expressing skepticism because they are used to the old system, which was similar to the formal sector pension scheme, where to retrieve the pension, there is a whole lot of back and forth. It's not a clear roadmap. And then, but over time, all of that has been revised, and digitalization has come in, automation has improved. But these informal sector workers, majority of them are not aware of these changes, and so still have that old perception of, oh, pension is not sustainable compared to their cooperative savings that they do. And so for our pilots, we would use the first 4 to 6 months to start with an MOU with one PFA, public fund administrator. We'll run enrollment days. We'll launch the contribution channels with approved contribution flow with approved channels. And then for the next 6 to 12 months, we would do the monitoring and evaluation, check where there are issues, and adapt. So FlexCare is actually a flexible system. We are not imposing on the transport sector, on the informal workers. Neither are we also imposing on the Pension Commission or the PFAs about changes. We are just bridging the gap and adopting as time goes on. And then after 12 months, we plan to expand. Next slide, please. Okay, so why this model skills? We are working with trust that's already there, the government's policies that have been revised, the national development multiplier, and then over time integrate more, we'll do more tech integration into this. Next slide. Okay, so our success metrics are the number of people who are on board and then have an understanding of where of how the pension scheme works, the enrollment rates and contribution consistency, and then the retention of people. And also, we've noticed that the reason why the International Women's Day program by the Pension Commission and then some PFAs happening is that they realize that they have low enrollments of women. So we are adding that to our success metrics. And then, yeah, we also plan to we've added complaints resolved as part of our success metrics. Next slide. Okay, so to summarize everything, we are not saying that there's no pension system. We are not saying that things are not working. It's there, just that the people are not aware. But through the E equals MDQ solution, we are redesigning the system, giving more access and trust to the people, and helping the government also achieve its goals of the policy, the reason why the policy came into effect. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Julia, for that presentation. I like FlexCare. The logo already, it's looking very secured. Thanks so much. Leader Gomez, I know you're also.
Thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you a lot, Julia. Yeah, I like your comment. The logo already looks like a real bank. Already gives you safety, right? Now, thank you a lot for your good work. I think it is a very interesting problem, the problem of micro pension schemes and informal workers. So you were very clear, you were very direct. So this problem clarity, perfect. The African context depth. In Nigeria, it is quite well identified. I would like to see if this also happens in other countries or if it is just a specific problem from Nigeria. Evidence and research, we have also, once again, clear data revealing a strong knowledge of the situation. When you talk about the education, media, digital, all parts were covered. I think the data part and this component is the weakest because it would be good to have a dashboard to kind of highlight the different parts of the process. How do you plan to manage the feasibility? In the feasibility, the ACT feasibility, human advisory, but it was a bit vague. So you should have give a bit more details on that. So this was the part that was not so very clear, the ACT feasibility. And then you also mentioned 5 hours per week per team member in your written document,
Yeah.
which also can be a limitation because the capacity that may need the operational demand. These may be something you need to think a bit more on how to really ensure that people are engaged and working. But then maybe you can add some details on that after I give here
Yeah.
the total feedback. Accountability.
Okay.
Accountability was good. We have a 5-layer governance structure. I think having a specific contractual commitment or fallback with the pension fund administrator will be stronger. If something doesn't happen well with them, what is the procedure to address it? And then in the PAL's activation, it was clearly identified, but I noticing across all the presentations kind of a common issue is how do you attract ambassadors and how do you convince the pension funds to participate? Because this was even regarding with the sugar refinery and even regarding with the media, the big question is, So how can we really convince these partners to join our network and to participate? So this is a point to reflect. And then
Okay.
the execution roadmap was very clear. It is realistic, well designed. I think to make it even better, what you can have is when you transition from pilot to validation, you can add some specific criteria to say, after this achieved, we moved to the next stage. So overall, it is a clear work, good metrics, clear education. I think the major issue is really this question of how can we attract the pension funds and make sure they collaborate? How can we formalize this ambassador to make sure they are committed to the project? But taking away this is quite a good work. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, so I would like to start responding to what you first said. You asked if this is peculiar to Nigeria or not. I am in Ghana currently. I'm a Ghanaian. And then I also noticed the situation is also in Ghana as well. So we also got data from Ghana, just that on the documents and the presentation, we focused on Nigeria to start with. Yes. And then the next thing you mentioned was the data. It was not strong. Am I right? Was that the feedback you gave?
No, your data collection is good. I mentioned is when you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned the EDM 3 cube
Mm-hmm.
integration,
Yeah.
did you cover well the education, you cover well the media, the digital part,
Mm-hmm.
but when you talk about that data component in the EMT cube integration, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the data component, because you mentioned simple dashboards and tracking irrelevance,
Yes.
but you still didn't demonstrate. So you see, so if you have kind of a brief
Okay.
dashboard, it's like I said, we can always start doing this like in ChatGPT or Claude, just to have a
Okay.
vision of how it may look like to
Okay.
show to the participants. I think it's just this part, but you are rich in data. It's just about having a dashboard with some
Yes.
feedback will be good. Yeah, just that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And okay, thank you very much for that. We'll take that into consideration and work on that. So your next comment, I want to get you were asking how we would attract the ambassadors, right? Okay. So we've noticed that when we spoke to the trade or the transport sector leaders, we noticed that they also had some skepticism about the current pension because they were used to the old um, policy that was in place. So we are not telling them that we are replacing their current corporation savings. This is just an addition to it. So whereas with the formal sector, especially those who work in, the banks, they have access to something like treasury bills, diversified investments. The informal sector doesn't have that information. So we are just um, telling them that so what we plan to do here is that we are helping them achieve more financial independence and so that they just don't rely on their contribution savings. They have, from the data we collected, they have, how do I put it? They have worked on their current corporation savings model to the point that that's what everybody relies on. But we are not saying we are replacing that. We just want to help them diversify their funds and investments. Yes. So how we would adopt, we would we would definitely have some incentives. I realize we did not specify that in the um documents as well. So yes, we did discuss that, but we left it out of the document.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It was clear.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, design team. Amazing
You're
presentation. And
welcome.
thanks, Lita Gomez, for the feedback. We'll just jump right into the next team because we're running out of time. Digital team, are you ready? I think you guys are the final team today. Digital team, are you ready?
Yes, we're here.
Okay. Lewis, are you going to be sharing your screen?
I'm trying to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good luck.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone can see my screen. Please, can you confirm?
Oh, yes, we can.
All right, thank you. So, hello everyone, my name is Lois Moses, and I am representing the digital team. Our presentation is going to be on waste reporting, and I understand that this is a bit similar to what the education team did, but we have a bit different approach towards it. So let's just go right into it. So we realized that proper waste management and waste collection is a rising problem in Nigeria. So in several hotspot areas, we've had reports by agencies like LOMA, which is the Lagos State Waste Management Agency that collects waste. We've seen that there have been certain areas that have become some form of waste hotspots. And our decision to take Abuja as our area for our scope is because we realized that being the Federal Capital Territory, there have been some recently upcoming hotspot areas for waste in Abuja. For example, we have the Karo market, where there's been a lot of waste going towards that axis. We have the crude market, primarily areas outside of the towns, but still within the Abuja Municipal Area Council. So waste management is becoming a rising problem in Nigeria. So Lagos State generates between 13 to 14,000 tons of waste daily. When we looked at the statistics for Abuja, we saw that I would say that those reports are highly should be doubted, because the amount of citizens in Abuja does not necessarily translate to the amount of waste that's been reported. So we can assume that there's some forms of waste that are not necessarily reported by waste management agencies and other waste collection companies. So this group proposes a waste reporting mobile application that will enable citizens to report instances of improper waste disposal to their communities. We decided to throw waste management back to the members of the public so that they are able to track instances of waste collection in their communities. Because if you go to websites of waste management agencies in Nigeria, for example, NASRA, which is the primary waste management agency in Nigeria, NASRA being the National Environmental Standards Regulation and Enforcement Agency, is the primary body enforced with waste management and waste collection in Nigeria. And if you go to their website, we see that they have registered some recent activities on waste management and waste collection, but this doesn't necessarily translate to everyday realities. We ran a survey where we looked at, we'll be getting to that later on, but where we looked at some waste hotspots in Abuja, and we saw that from reports of persons that had responded to these surveys, that most of the waste collection bodies were more or less private waste collection companies and not necessarily government waste collection companies. So this doesn't necessarily align with what is present on these government pages. So what we wanted to do with this waste management app isn't necessarily just to name and shame, but to allow citizens to track the development in waste collection from the government and from other companies that ensure that they collect waste. So our solution, going to the next slide, will be that we want to improve waste reporting and citizen activity. We want waste reporting to be seen as something that citizens can engage in, citizens can track. It's not something that's just left to the government, but they are also able to have a form of say in what waste management connotes within their communities. Also, we want to enhance government responsiveness to waste management, because if we have a form of website where people are able to
track these things in real time. The government is more or less put on the spot, so they have to ensure that they're not just putting out publications or articles that they have cleared up waste in certain areas, but they are also able to know that there are also areas that need to be cleaned up, and the majority of these places where waste is being aggregated, nothing is done about them, especially in the areas that are not, high-scale urban areas like Asoko or Maitama within the Abuja city. So how does this address ESG goals? So we wanted to tackle 3 primary areas. The first one is citizen advocacy, which falls under the social group. So we want citizens to be able to engage with these platforms. We want them to be able to realize that they can track waste management within their communities, so that if, for example, there's landfills or the potential dumping that could happen within their communities, they're able to flag these things as early as possible and ensure that government officials are kept on their toes, monitor how this is done, and also give a form of feedback or responsiveness back onto the app, so that these government officials and also other persons interacting with these websites are able to know these are the activities and this is how it's being monitored. Also, we wanted to address governance gap. So issues of governance and data transparency. So if we listen to the other groups, we would realize that one of the primary problems that we have with governance generally in Nigeria is data transparency. And if you go to some of these agencies, for example, we have the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, which is charged with waste management and collection within Abuja. We would see that there's very little information on how this waste is being collected, not just in real time, but there's just very little information that shows how they have been able to manage waste collection within Abuja. So, like I said, we ran a survey on waste collection and management, and we saw that over 50%, about 66% of all respondents said that they make use of private collectors, and many of these persons live within residential estates. So we see that for many estates, they've more or less created a form of private collection service, but most of the waste hotspots that we identified in Abuja, like I said previously, in Kurudu, in Karo, at Jabi, and at Gwarimpa, which are more or less not necessarily at the heart of Abuja city, are places that are not necessarily estates, but they are more like commercial centers, like plazas, like businesses, small businesses on the roadside, also markets. So we see that much of the waste being aggregated isn't necessarily from just, individual household waste, but it's more or less from commercial activities that are ongoing in these areas. So about 16% of respondents reported that their waste is being collected weekly. Well, most of these respondents were persons that reported that they make use of private waste collectors. So for those that their waste is being collected either periodically or being collected monthly, we saw that many of these persons come from are persons that make use of the government waste management agencies. And all respondents we saw were willing to make use of a form of mobile platform to track waste collection, so that they're able to hold government accountable. They're able to provide figures, numbers that we can use, in relaying information back to the government, and also in making sure that they're being responsible and accountable to their citizens. So the primary stakeholders we identified are the community groups and associations, the private citizens, and government agencies and officials. So, sorry, just a minute. So we saw that these persons have the highest stakes in environmental waste management. For example, when we look at community associations, like persons having small-scale businesses in some of these areas, some of the reports that he made were that these things affect their businesses. You wouldn't want to go to a place where it's kind of dirty, or, for example, within Karo, I'm going to give a practical example now. Within Karo local government area, the waste that is pouring out is just before the market. So we see that it becomes a difficulty for persons to even get access to the market if they're coming from the city or if they're coming from surrounding areas, because this causes a roadblock, and they will have to pass through the roadblock even to meet the get to the market. So we see how this has caused a form of downturn in economic activities. Also, government agencies and local government councils are primary stakeholders. In Abuja, we just hosted our local government elections 2 weeks ago, and it was interesting to note that waste management wasn't something that was actively campaigned for by any of the primary election bodies. And so one of the primary reasons why we created this app was because we realized that for those hotspot areas where we saw that, like for example, markets that people were more or less dumping their waste, we identified that informal waste recyclers were more or less the persons that were clearing up these wastes. And this poses some forms of challenges because they're not able to be identified. So we could see some form of security challenges in the long run. And also we see that some of the persons living within these environs more or less dump their waste there, apart from those persons that have plazas, those persons that have markets, businesses within the area. So what we wanted to do, firstly, we want to be able to identify waste with the use of this platform, report this waste through Waste Alert. So the name of our platform is Waste Alert, and what we want to do is we want citizens to be on their toes in, tracking waste. So an action is going to be able to be designed to relevant government agencies, and when we send this report to them, we should be able to monitor what they are doing on their end. I'll just go straight into it. We have the key features of our Waste Alert app. So there has to be a form of photo evidence where you upload your photos, your videos on the app, and then a GPS for live tracking so that responders can see identified sites. And one of the reasons why we said there should be an installation of this GPS is because we wanted a situation where we're not just able to track this waste dumping, but we don't want a situation where there's duplication of reporting. So no two or more persons are reporting the same site to government agencies so that they can focus on it one report at a time. Also, report details, for example, a brief description of waste type so that before even these government agencies get to the point of the waste, they're able to anticipate what they will be looking at even before they go ahead to this landfill. Is it all right?
Hi Luis,
So,
can you hear me?
also, live.
Can you hear me? Your time is up. Yes, your time is up.
Yes, I
So
can
just
hear
wrap
you.
up in a minute, please.
Oh, okay, all right. So let me just quickly go through the app so that I don't know if you can still see my screen, please just let me know because I wanted to just
Yes, we can see your screen.
all right. So this is a prototype of what the platform is going to look like. So you're able to report a form of waste. So if you report, you take a picture of what you have and it takes the coordinates, it logs it in so that the government is able to track it. And then you give a short detail of what it looks like. Is it a dump site?
I think we're not seeing the app. We are still seeing your presentation slide. You might stop sharing and then reshare with the app interface.
Oh. All right. Sorry, I'm just looking. See now? See now?
Yes, I can see.
So we have the app here. You're able to report a dump. So if you go to the report rate, you see photo evidence. You're able to upload your picture. Then it logs in the coordinates and the address so that the government officials are able to take note of that. And then you provide a brief description on what the waste looks like. and they are able to track that. So, sorry, having network issues. So this is severity levels, so that we are able to aggregate some form of data for persons that want to make use of it for either research or whatsoever purposes that might be. And then, yeah, a form of feedback, so that when this waste has been taken out, citizens are able to give a form of feedback, so that even if the government isn't able to clear the waste as satisfactorily as they would like, they are able to let them know. So quickly going back to my slides. I'm so sorry I'm pressed for time, but I will do the best I can. There. So going back, organizations, ambassadors, influencers, community leaders, volunteers, and families to understand that engaging ambassadors, we need to form incentives for these persons, international incentives, like creating platforms for them to be able to advocate, and also some form of visibility, so that they are able to spread out the word on the existence of this app. Also, we have our leaders to be local government councils, religious leaders, and estate residents. So what are the challenges that we envision? Firstly, low public adoption, then slow government response. And we want to be able to tackle this by ensuring if we have our influencers logged into the site, they are able to help us in pushing out the visibility of this app, and also slow government response. So they will be able to do that, because if they create hashtags, if they make throw a light to what is going on, the government will have no choice, but they will be pressed for time, so they will have to address these issues. So for duplicate reports, like I said, we have the GPS, so that it could help track any form of waste, so that anybody reporting wouldn't have to clash with some previously reported information. Also, digital divide and data management. So we hope to address that by creating a form of maybe USSD reporting or text reporting, where people can upload, not just, they may not be able to upload pictures per se, but they can also just give some form of information on what the waste looks like. So these are the references to the information that was provided on site for the tons of waste generated. All right, so this app is to empower citizens to actively participate in keeping their communities clean by providing a simple channel to report waste issues. And ultimately, we hope it improves sanitation conditions and provides a better responsive waste management system. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Louise, for that amazing presentation. Lead judge for this. You can go ahead to your mute and give us your feedback. Thank you.
All right. So I'm speaking again for the second time. So once again, good day, everyone. This is a wonderful presentation to start with, and your presentation, I would say, under problem clarity, right? You correctly identified the crisis, and it states that it is a failure of civil pathway. So that's a good one. And I would say the highlight would be you recognizing that social media complaints currently lack escalation logs, which leads to eroded public trust. So that, I would say, is the highlight, right, of your problem clarity. So for your African context, I would say yes, it was deeply contextualized for Abuja, and with your addressing the digital divide with your USSD and WhatsApp. So that's a good one. And of course, your evidence, you have strong situational evidence, right? I would say that, which regarding to flood and waste mismanagement and agency silos, right? That's what I put down from your evidence and research. And then, of course, your feasibility, well, I would say it's realistic. I have here written it's realistic. It has a realistic timeline, 6 to 9 months, and your honest assessment of talent gaps. That's a good one. And for your accountability, yeah, you shifted focus from complaint to response transparency and measurable performance, which is good. Your powers, well, you have a clear mapping of the partners and the ambassadors. So good job. Yeah, and then your governance model. Yeah, you have a structured model via a multi-stakeholder committee and your formal MOU to mitigate resistance, which is good. So I would say your strength here is your hyper-local contextualization, right? Because the project recognizes that digital-only solution often fails, but by integrating your USSD and SMS rather, the proposal ensures that low-tech users and residents in high density communities are not excluded. So that's one of your strengths. And I mean, you have clear governance framework, which I would say is one of your strengths also. Yeah, then your weakness, I call this a weakness, but just take note of it. Your dependence on third-party data, right? The success of data and digital components relies on the state MDAs providing verified contacts and sharing data, which if these agencies are slow to cooperate, then your dashboard remains empty. So that's one weakness that I've written. Probably other judges would have something to say. So I would just say my recommendation is when it comes to the agencies, you might think or you might consider incentivizing the agencies. So to mitigate agency resistance, right? Because you might encounter that. So, but if you incentivize it, then you might you would get their cooperation, right? And I have here written you have your automated escalation. So to ensure report receives timely response, it's okay to build an automated alert system that could trigger a notification to the steering committee or the policy champions. That is if an SLA is breached. Right, so these are few recommendations that I've written down here, but overall, I think this is a great one because this is a big challenge in our country, and so good work, good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edith. Thank you for your feedback, and thank you, Team Digital. That was amazing. I don't know if we have any other judge that wants to give any feedback for Team Digital. Do we have any other feedback from any of the judges? Can you hear me?
Yes, Messi,
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. All right. If there are no other feedbacks, thank you, Team Digital. Amazing presentation. So I think we've come to an end of all the presentations, and I think the president is back, so I can hand over to him. Thank you.
Thanks, Mercy. Sorry, guys, I had to step out from the computer just to take the call button back. And well done, Team Digital, and well done to all our judges. We truly appreciate all the efforts being put in today. It means a lot to us. We're just going to try and wrap up as soon as possible. I know Messi would be collating the result now, and as she does that, I'm just going to just share some thoughts on, again, many of these work that we'll be doing requires, as many of you put in your presentation, partners, ambassadors, leaders. And I like that Leader Gomez kept asking one of our judges, how are we going to engage the partners? How do we make sure that we bring them into such community? And to make that happen, we require each and every one of you guys to become ambassadors first. So I just wanted to take a moment here to share what our ambassador program is about and how you can join us and build with us. If you don't know yet, we already have a platform that you can be part of. So team, if you don't mind putting the link of the website for Tech for Good Africa on the chat so that people can go on there and they can sign up. So who's the Echo Ambassador? ECO, as you all know, if you've been part of our community, stands for Environment, Community, and Organization. We use this to track the location of the impact in a location. And as ambassadors, these are some of the things you would be participating in doing. So as an Echo Ambassador, you are a technology-driven agent who identifies problems, mobilizes people, and deploy digital solutions for sustainable development. And these are some of the things that you guys have done today. Please, guys, just bear me 1 second. Apologies, guys. Yeah. So as Echo ambassadors, you're already showcasing some of those things by doing ESG Tech 2.0, but there's more to come for the rest of the year, whether it's participating, contributing. So we want you guys to become to be more even structured, even as ambassadors, so where you're either tailored to become more environmental or you're tailored to be more community based and so on and so forth. So ambassadors are activated across these three focus areas, whether it's environmental ambassadors, you focus on climate, sustainability, green innovation, environmental data, community activating grassroots solutions in education, youth development, digital literacy, social impact, and even organization driving digital transformation in institution, in business, in government system. These are some of the things that you do as an ambassador. So what do? You identify real problems in the ecosystem. You mobilize community and institution. You apply what you've learned from the E equals MD Cube to build these solutions, organize activities, events, innovation challenges, connect problems and innovate to innovators through the Echo platform. And again, if you don't know about the Echo platform, it's something we'll share more about even as you join the community. And finally, you contribute to the Africa's Emerging Technology Leadership Network. Okay. So why should you join the Echo Ambassador? Why should you become an Echo Ambassador? Why should you join the network? One, leadership development. Through our Leadership Academy, with structured leadership training for moving you from even an ambassador to becoming a leader, right? Technology and innovation exposure. You're exposed to new type of technology, exposed to AI, green tech, social technology programs that we'll be doing while you're part of us. And also the network. We're spreading across Africa. Our goal is to have Tech for Good Africa in every African country. So even you as an ambassador can start Tech for Good Africa in your country. So there's the ability to have a network and even influence many more people through our framework, through our structures. Those are some of the things that we want you to do as ambassadors. Visibility and recognition. So you're featured in our award, you're featured in our ecosystem. And this is a space where we all lead together. So you're showcased, and Tech for Good Africa is always doing something, whether it's a environmental program or community program, all to improve doing more good tech. You gain that visibility and recognition by being part of the community. Also, access to opportunities. Some of the people that volunteer with us get access to even be part of jobs that we get, whether it is opportunities in getting a job that you can be paid, or opportunity you get a job where you can even grow your skills, or even gaining access to our programs, our type of collaboration, our research initiative, and even all the way down to even giving you grants. These are some of the things that you benefit from being part of our network. Again, we provide you trainings, which you've done now with certification, yeah, connections to the ecosystem. You can see some of our judges are high-level people. You get to be part of that ecosystem. You're participating in innovation challenges and even real research initiative. Again, I've mentioned about access to the platform and even the network. And you even gain the opportunity to host your own activities. And that's why we want you to even set it up in your country and build local impact, right? And then this is also a pathway for you to become a Tech for Good Africa leader. So how do you become a Tech for Good Africa leader? So you go to the website, you sign up, and when you're already, you will see a dashboard. On your dashboard, you just scroll to the bottom and it would say upgrade to become an ambassador, complete the assessment, and it would just assign you to a track, whether you're environmental or community organization. The goal in the future is that you can become a full eco ambassador, but for now you can choose. When you take the assessment, it will tell you whether you're an environmental one or a community organization ambassador. But our goal in the future is that one can become an ECHO, a full environment, community, and organization ambassador, right? And all you have to do after that is just start activating impact in your ecosystem. We'll follow up with you on programs. Again, when you play with the website, you see a lot of these things happening there. Our goal is that we want to build the new generations of African leaders who understand how to combine technology, leadership, and sustainability to create the future of Africa that we see. So let's together learn, let's do things together, and let's create some exciting things. Okay. So please just go on the website and sign up. It'll be fascinating to see you do that. We've also mentioned about the Green Leaders Incubator that's happening. So deadline is the end of this March. So please go in there and make sure that you're filling the form if you have a innovation. So the winners of this innovation today will be the first three that will be in the incubator. And if you, as you're out there, you have a amazing idea, an exciting idea, please fill out the form. I know they'll be putting it in the chat now. Fill out the form and we'll go through that, and hopefully you can be part of the incubator program. So it doesn't just stop at the ESG 2.0. It goes on to be incubated into what, incubating 12 solutions plus the ones that you have shared here today. So exciting times for real innovations happening in real time. Okay, I think that's about it for me. Right, we'll take a just a 4 minutes break, and we'll come back to share the results. So please stay tuned. We'll just do 4 minutes just to create, and we'll come back here at 1:45. Thank you so much, everyone.
Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Delight thyself also in the Lord, the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass, and he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Stand the Lord, wait patiently for him. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Surely He shall deliver thee. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Under his wings shalt thou trust.
Okay, thank you everyone for that patience. Just let me confirm, Mercy, do we have the created results?
Yes, we do. Just give me 2 minutes, just reconfirming. I'll share with you.
Okay, so guys, we'll just do another, let's say we'll just 150. I'm hoping that we wrap up this session today at 2 o'clock on the dot. Thank you for your patience and just even waiting on the call. So we'll come back at 150 where we'll have the full result and we'll share with everybody. I'm truly excited to see the winners.
Trust He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. He shall cover thee with His feathers, under His wing shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler, under His wing. Ooh, yeah. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be my mouth. I will bless the Lord at all times. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, delivered me from all my fears. I bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. And let us exalt his name together at all times.
Okay, I think this is time to reveal the winners. Messi, are you ready?
Yes, I am. So I don't know if we have enough time to give the breakdown. So I think I might just be calling the final calls allocated. Is that fine?
That's absolutely okay.
All right. So thank you so much, every participant, and thank you so much to all our judges. Thank you for your time and your insights into today's presentation. So we've been able to collect all the scores, and for the participants, let me just state it here. You have you've been graded based on the things the judges actually mentioned earlier. The criteria are your problem clarity, African context, evidence, E equals MD cube integration, the acts and the heart, the pulse activation, governance model, impact metrics, and execution roadmap. So based on that, you've been graded by each judges, and we've been able to accumulate the total scores to what I'll be calling out right now. So I'm going to start with I'm going to start from the bottom up. For media, I want to say your total score was 35.8. I hope I'm audible. Media 35 point. Media 35.8. Yeah, and the second thematic group I'll be calling is energy. So energy, your total score is 36.8. Energy is 36.8. And the third group I'll be calling is education. Education is 37.1. Please don't mind my background noise. Education is 37.1. So I know the president will probably talk after this, but I've called the bottom three. I'm going to be calling the next three now. So that's data. Data is 37.8. 37.8. Design 30. Oh, sorry, digital is 38.2. Digital is 38.2. Now we have design 38.4. So are you going to call the winners from there?
You already called out the winners already.
Yeah.
So let's just say congratulations to the three Ds. It looks like the three Ds have it. Data 37.8 at third place, digital at 38.2 at second place, and design just beat them with point 0.2 38.4. I just want to say congratulations to the design team, congratulations to the digital team, congratulations data team, and congratulations to the other three, education, energy, media. All your presentations were amazing. We truly, truly loved it. But really, we can only take three winners. And so, guys, data, digital design, please look out. We'll definitely be reaching to you about the Capstone project. All of you and your team will be part of the incubator program to build your solution with Tech for Good Africa and see it come to life, right? We're going to help you with the partners, the leaders, the ambassador, making sure that this innovation that you brought comes to life. And so well done. Well done to each and every one of you, and congratulations. I think this has been a great and exciting time. I just wanted to see on the chat how did you feel about, I just want to get some feedback. How did you feel about the Capstone project? How did you feel about the training? Just put in the chat how you felt, and congratulations again to the team. I know everybody's excited, celebrating. Design team, we're probably buzzing over there. But please, just put in the chat, how was the session? How did you enjoy yourself? Tell me what you've learned. If you learned something new, if you learned something amazing. And I just want to also use this opportunity while you're doing that to say thank you to each and every of our judges for even staying on this call for over 4 hours. From Leader Gomez, to Leader Oguchukwu, Edith, to Esther, to Vela. Am I missing anybody? To Olamide and Fosa Austin, and to the rest of the team at Tech for Good Africa. Well done to each and every one of you guys. We truly, truly just enjoyed this time with you guys. Congratulations again. And thank you guys. I wouldn't waste too much time. I'm not going to do a speech today. I'm not going to give a motivation. I think we're all very motivated about moving forward into the future. And I just want to say thank you. And I look forward to seeing you at the incubator program. But most importantly, we look forward to seeing you in ESG 3.0. Who is excited for ESG 3.0? We're definitely back next year with ESG 3.0. I'm excited for it. I know it's going to be bigger. And I think we're already even programming what our next year's theme is going to be around. So get ready. It's going to be another power-packed session next year. So thank you so much. Congratulations again to the team that won. Congratulations to the Tech for Good Africa team. And thank you to all our judges and everyone that joined this session today. God bless you all. Please go and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
See you,
Awesome.
everyone.
See
See
you,
Yes,
you.
thank you,
everyone. See you.
everyone.
Bye
Thank you.
Thank
bye.
you
See you
very
next
much. Thank you
year.
very much.
God bless everybody. God bless you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
27.
Yeah. Everything was
Thank
quite
you.
close, so keep up the good work. Keep motivated. It's quite
Thank you.
close. Good
Thank you
work for
so much.
all. See you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lita Gomez. Thank you. All right, everyone. See you. See you. And yes, enjoy. This was fun. What is celebration time? I think we're going to have like a virtual party and stuff. Let's see if I'm not going
Our
to play.
photos.
Oh yeah, we have to take a photo. Oh, we
Yeah.
have to take a photo. All right, guys, let's take a photo before we go. All right, I almost forgot that. Thank you, Messi. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, let's take a photo before we leave. Please put on your cameras. Put on your cameras. Let's take a photo. I was so excited. I was so excited. I forgot about photo. I just wanted to go and just start thanking God and celebrating. Right. Uh, I don't see everybody's camera on. I'm going to give like, I'm going to do a countdown of 10 seconds for everyone to put their camera on, and then we'll take the photo. If your camera is not on, I'm sorry, you lost that one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Okay, these guys that their cameras are on, these are the ones that are taking photos. All right. All right, you can do a peace sign, thumbs up, whichever one you like. I like peace sign. I'm doing peace sign. All right. 3, 2, 1. A big smile. Love it. Thank you, everybody. Got your pictures. I love all the smiles. Thanks. All right, everybody. See you and
Thank
enjoy
you.
your weekend. Thank you so much. Bye. 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 This is fun. And everybody, please get ready. You get your certificates in
Please.
your emails in the next few days.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Please
Timothy. I
ensure
see
you
you.
sign up. Ensure you sign up on the Tech for Good Africa platform. See you all. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye. Bye.
With Drip, what you design is exactly what you build.
Welcome back to the morning drive on Love and Light FM. And with us this morning is Joe Boy, the Mary's Music Celebration. Do enjoy. Celebration, jubilation, jubilation, no, 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 celebration, celebration. We go there, all I know, from the Malo, Malola, Arane, Arane, Ajae, Aramoto, Moto, Quebo, Shino, Malo, Malola, Arane, Arane, Ajae, Aramoto, Quebo, Shino, Gigi, celebration. Be that I don't like everything. All the blessings within the room. Yes, I do. Bye bye.